welcome back. Today I am attempting to take advantage of some natural light by sitting in front of the only window in my house that gives me any kind of natural light. Today I'm going to be doing a book haul. It is like a spring book haul slash birthday book haul because my birthday was back in March and I did get a few books. Plus, over the course of the past couple months, I've just gotten other books various other places. So I have quite a stack to share with you today, but I'm excited about all these books and I've had a lot of them just sitting around for a while waiting for me to haul them so I can finally put them on the shelf. So today, that's what we're doing. So a few weeks ago, one of my friends was moving and she was trying to cut down on all the stuff she had to move. And so she brought like 4 or 5 bags of books over to my house and she said, just take whatever you want and whatever you don't want, I'm gonna take to Goodwill. So I just took a bunch of books. All the books that I got from her, I have been interested in reading in the past. They weren't necessarily like high priority books to buy or to acquire because I wasn't like wanting to read them right away. But when she was offering them to me for free, I was like, yes, this is a perfect opportunity for me to add a bunch of these books to my shelves. So that's the first kind of like giant stack of things that I have here. The first book that I got from her was A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This is the first book in, I think, a trilogy about a librarian. I think she's like a witch librarian and she comes across a vampire and things happen and there's some kind of something going on in the world that only she may be able to stop. I actually, honestly, obviously don't know very much about this book, but it's a book that I've kind of had on my radar for a really long time. And the only reason I've never bought it before is because I've heard such mixed reviews of the book that I have been hesitant to spend my own money on it. Now that I have it for free, now that I got it from my friend, I am interested to check it out and see how I feel about this. I know there was like a TV adaptation of this book that was maybe on like HBO or something that seemed to get a lot of good buzz. So I'm still very interested in reading this book and I am hoping that I like it. It's even more exciting that I was able to get it for free. I also got from her Heart's Blood by Juliette Marillier. This is, I think it's a standalone fantasy, and I actually don't know anything about the book at all. I haven't even read the back. I just know that Juliette Marillier is a very popular adult fantasy author that lots of people seem to love. I was especially interested in this one because I'm pretty sure it's a standalone, and I feel like that would be a really good place to kind of jump in to her books because I know she writes a lot of like really long series. Like I said, I don't know anything about it, but there's a girl holding a book in a room full of books on the cover. So maybe this one's about a magical librarian as well. I don't know, but I'm excited to read it. And that actually wasn't the only Juliette Marillier book that I got from her because she also was giving away the entirety of the Seven Waters series. And I thought, I really can't pass that up. This is an entire series right here. So I got these as well, even though I know I just said I was interested in that other one because it's a standalone. I'm interested in this series because I've heard so much about it on BookTube. I feel like everybody that has read this series really, really loves it. So we've got the first book, Daughter of the Forest, Son of the Shadows, Child of the Prophecy, Heir to Seven Waters, Seer of Seven Waters, and finally, Flame of Seven Waters. So like I said, this is an adult fantasy series. I'm pretty sure it's set in like medieval Ireland and it follows a girl who has to save her brothers after they have all been turned into sheep or something like that. I know that every book in the series follows the descendant of the previous main character. So the main character of the second book is the daughter of the main character in this book. And if I'm not mistaken, this was originally just a trilogy and then she went back and she wrote an additional trilogy like expansion of the series. So yeah, I'm really interested in this series and I am excited that I have the entire thing now so that when I feel like just diving into a super long fantasy series that I have it all right here on hand. And the last set of books I got from her is the start of another series that has always kind of been on my radar. It's a series that I've heard a lot of like mixed things about, but that I've always been kind of interested in. And that is the Sookie Stackhouse series by Charlaine Harris. I have the first 7 books here. I know that this series is like 13 books long. She only had the first 7, but this is the book series that the show True Blood is based on. I've never seen True Blood, but I've heard so much about this series and about the TV show that I've always been kind of interested. The one thing that I always hear about it is that it's basically just like trashy good. It's like guilty pleasure kind of reads, and I think that like in a time like right now when things are so crazy, trashy good reads might be what I want to go for. So I have the first 7 books here. They are Dead Until Dark, Living Dead in Dallas, Club Dead, Dead to the World, Dead as a Doornail, Definitely Dead, and Altogether Dead. And like I said, I know there's like 6 more books in the series that I don't have, but if I like these, then I can definitely get the rest of the series at some point. I know that this follows a main character named Sookie Stackhouse, who I think can read people's minds, and then somebody comes into the bar that she works at and she can't read their mind, and that means that they might be a vampire or something like that. Obviously, I don't know too much about it, but like I said, it's a series that's always kind of been on my radar, and I think it's gonna be just like a really good, like guilty pleasure, like time waster kind of read. So I'm excited that I have the first 7 books, and hopefully I will like them. Thank you to Samantha, who kindly just gave me all of these things, because now I definitely won't run out of books to read, as if that was ever going to be a problem. The last set of books I have here are all the books that I got for my birthday. I bought myself some books for my birthday because I was just in the mood to treat myself. And then my fiance's parents actually gave me a gift card to get some books. So I spent that, and all the books have now arrived, which is why I'm just now filming this video. I'm really excited about this little stack. These are books that are so high on my TBR, so high on my priority list, that I suspect you'll be seeing them in other videos, wrap-ups and whatnot very soon, because these are all books that I'm so excited to get to. So the 2 books I bought myself, first I got The How and the Why by Cynthia Hand. This is Cynthia Hand's newest YA contemporary. It came out, I think, right at the end of 2019, and I've been really excited to read this because I have loved everything by Cynthia Hand that I've read. I have really enjoyed her more hard-hitting contemporaries in the past, and so this is one that I think I'm really going to enjoy. This is about a girl who was adopted, and she doesn't really know much about her birth family, and then I think she finds some letters that her birth mother wrote to her, and so she's reading these letters and kind of figuring out herself and her past. And I think it's kind of told in a dual timeline, where you're also reading from the perspective of the birth mom back when she was like getting ready to give birth and giving this baby up for adoption. And I think it's like her writing these letters, or maybe you're reading from her perspective through these letters. So I'm really excited to read this one. I think it's going to be really emotional and hard-hitting, but also really, really important. I've only heard good things about this book from everybody that has read it, so I'm excited to get to it very soon. I also got Lovely War by Julie Berry. I've been wanting to read this book since it came out, and I was just waiting for it to come out in paperback, and now that it has, I have it, and I'm really, really excited about reading this one. So this is like historical fiction with a touch of mythology, because I'm pretty sure it follows Aphrodite. She has been caught in some kind of compromising love affair position, and so she is on trial, and I think the way that she is saving herself is that she is telling some of the greatest love stories that she's ever known. And so then I think we flash to like World War II era, and we are hearing Aphrodite tell the story of these couples during the war and some of the greatest love stories that she knows. I'm really, really excited about reading this. I have only seen like praise for this book. I've never seen a negative review of it, and I think I'm really going to love it. This sounds like something that is just right up my alley. It's got like the historical fiction element, which I love, and then it also has a touch of mythology, like a little bit of like a fantastical kind of element to it as well, which just sounds so good. This is going to be a book that I get to really soon, because every time I look at it, I'm like, okay, I have to read that book now. Like, it's time to read that book, and I still haven't picked it up, but I know that the perfect time is coming, and so this is one that I will definitely read before too long, because I just think it's gonna be so, so good. And then finally I picked up 4 books with the gift card that I got. The first of those is the Pelican Shakespeare edition of Twelfth Night. You may remember a couple of years ago on my channel, I was collecting these, and almost every time I did a book haul, I had 1 or 2 of these to haul, and I think I have like 6 or 7 of them now, and I hadn't got one in a while, but this one was on super sale on Amazon for like $4, so I got it. We all know how much I love Shakespeare, and I have been wanting to collect all of Shakespeare's plays in these like really nice cute editions, so I'm excited that I have another one. And I'm gonna try to hold it up so you can kind of see the cover It's like really pretty. Next up, a book that I've been seeing everywhere on like UK booktube is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is about a time traveling cafe where you go, you order a cup of coffee, and then you can time travel to any point in the past. You can meet up with anybody as long as they have visited that cafe at some point in their life. The only stipulation is you have to return to the present day before your coffee gets cold. And it just sounds so interesting. If I'm not mistaken, this is actually kind of like a collection of short stories, because I'm pretty sure it follows a few different people, but they all have like their own story about their time at this cafe. I'm just really excited to read it. Every time I hear anybody talking about it, it just sounds so cute, so endearing. It also has a really cute little cat on the cover, who I love. So I'm really excited to get to this one. I think it's one that I'm going to be getting to really soon because it's fairly short. I don't know that you can tell on camera, but this is actually like, there's like blue foiling in the background. And so it's just even more beautiful than I could have imagined. And I can't wait to read it. Another translated Japanese work is The Memory Police by Yoko Agawa. This is one that I think only recently got translated. I think it originally came out in like the early 90s in Japan, and then just recently it got translated into English. And I have been super intrigued by it ever since I've seen it like popping up everywhere. So this is set on an island, and periodically things on this island just disappear. And the main character, her mother, was one of the only people who could actually remember all of these things that started disappearing. And I'm pretty sure the government doesn't want these people to remember, and so they employ the memory police to make sure that everybody is forgetting all of these things. I obviously don't know a ton about it, but I really like books that kind of explore the idea of memory and things disappearing. I just think this is going to be really good, and I can't wait to get to it. Hopefully I'm going to be reading this one this month. And finally, the last book I have here to haul is probably the one that I'm most excited about for this entire haul. This is one that just came out in January, and I didn't even realize that this author had a new book coming out. But when I saw that she did, and I saw how much praise this book was getting, I knew that I had to get it as soon as possible, and that is Long Bright River by Liz Moore. I read Liz Moore's previous book, The Unseen World, a couple of years ago, 2017 maybe, and I loved it so much. It was one of my favorite books that I read that year. This is about a woman who is a police officer or a detective, and she is investigating the recent deaths of a bunch of prostitutes in like the Philadelphia area. And this starts causing her some concern because her sister is a prostitute, and so she thinks that her sister might somehow be wrapped up in all of this. I'm really excited about reading it. I've heard it is like part mystery, part thriller, part literary work. I just think this is gonna be so good, and I can't wait to start it. So those are all the books that I have to haul for this spring. I'm really excited about this haul. I have some really great books here, and I feel like I'm definitely not gonna run out of reading material, so I am excited to jump into all these books. I'm in one of those moods right now where I just want to read everything, so I don't know which of these books I'm gonna pick up first. Maybe Long Bright River, maybe The Memory Police, I don't know, but I'm excited nonetheless, and I can't wait to read all the books that I have here today. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of the books that I mentioned in this video and what you thought about them. Which of the books do you think that I need to prioritize? Which of them do you want to see me review? I'd really love to know. Also, let me know some books that you got recently, or maybe the book that you are most excited to read soon. I'd really love to know that as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you again very soon. Bye!